This is going to be the most important video that you probably watch this entire year, mainly because I'm going to give you the goods on why new listings are your literal lottery ticket to making at least a 5x in this bull run that is going to happen this year. My name is Aaron Dishner from The Better Traders, and in this video, I'm going to take a deep dive into all of these new listing coins. Now, I'm not looking at every single new listing. This just happens to be a collection of new listings that were in the December watch list from the Better Traders Club, which I'll be talking about later. Now, I want to explain first what this is about before all of you go just aping into all of these coins. That's not what I'm saying. Believe me, that's not what I'm saying at all. But the concept behind this video, the concept behind identifying new listings is so simple, but still so powerful. And this is it. All we have to do is look at a chart like DOT. DOT is one of the lamest coins out there. I don't care if you love DOT or not. I'm not talking about the protocol. I'm not talking about the founders. I'm not talking about the technology, because we're talking about trading and making money. That's what we're talking about. So if we just pay attention to how DOT performed from January 4th, the first weekly candle in January, to the market top that was in November for this chart, not for Bitcoin, but for this chart, DOT saw a measly 443%. There's something else that is super important about this, but I'm going to come back to this chart. So you got to watch all the way to the end because you do not want to miss this. It's going to be one of the best ways to protect your portfolio throughout this entire year, okay? Now, DOT I purposely picked because it's a bad performer compared to everything else. Now, if you bought early down here at $4, then of course you're doing much better. You're hitting a 10x, but you will inevitably get into some positions, some coins that only pull a 400% profit. Oh, let me get my little violin for you. Like 400% is ridiculously awesome. You're not going to see that in any other market. This is why crypto is so mind-blowingly amazing. So for one, get your priorities straight. If you're crying at a 400% ROI on a trade, you need to go somewhere else. Leave crypto because you've always been poisoned by crypto people posting screenshots of making 10,000, 15,000% gains on one lottery ticket token. That's dumb. Be satisfied with any amount of profit, just like we tell you in the Better Traders courses, just like we tell you in the Better Traders journal. All right, this is the worst performing one. I wanted to show you this on purpose for two reasons, but we're going to come back to the second reason in a second. Near. Now, I'm not looking at the current price. I'm not even talking about the price potential for near in this market to come. I'm talking about coins that were new listings back in 2020 before the real top year started. Okay. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about in regards to a top year, I have a video right here. You're going to watch this. I'm going to link it at the end of this video, but it talks about everything you need to know for 2025 and beyond, because this is Bitcoin's topping year. So let me continue. So with that in mind, for those of you that have watched it, this is going to make a lot of sense. Okay. So the topping year, we saw alts absolutely go crazy for the first couple of weeks. Near moved up 400% and gave it all away. And then it moved up towards the end of the year, pulling about a 13x. HBAR did pretty darn well as well. HBAR made, what is this? January 4th in 1 week moved up 50%. It moved up a total of 16x, 1,640%. How about Rune? How about Thorchain? Well, this one moved up 1,329% in this top year rally. Notice that back over here in November, it actually gave away a lot of its gains. We're going to talk about that in a second. AVAX or Avalanche, this one rocketed up 4,127%. Solana moved up 11,828%. Phantom moved up 18,315%. All of these measurements are from the first weekly candle of January 2021, going for the entire extent of the bull market. Now, not all of these topped out with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit its top in about here, November 2021, like the third or fourth week of November. So we can see other coins going absolutely crazy. Now, the main concept, the central idea I want you to understand from this video, new listings on predominantly good volume, reputable, exchanges, especially exchanges that have derivatives trading or futures trading, these are a much safer lottery ticket compared to finding the next greatest fart coin or meme coin or something like that. Do I think memes will come back? Yes. But I really believe that new listings have way more potential, especially on centralized exchanges. Now, if you're lucky, you might find a coin on a decentralized exchange that gets listed on a centralized exchange. There are benefits to this because there's like the Binance pump, where if you buy a coin and it's listed on Binance, usually the first listing day on Binance, there's going to be a mega pump, especially if we are in a bullish top year, which we are. So, but the chances of that happening, like how are you actually going to know if a chart's going to be listed on Binance? You're not going to have any idea. How are you going to know that it's going to be listed on Coinbase? You don't really know. It's always going to be based off of rumors, which will help to propel the price up. But unfortunately, those listing pumps go up and then they go right back down. So we're not really basing our new listing strategy off of a listing on a bigger exchange. What we're focusing on is something far easier. And it's all about seasonality. Knowing that this 2025 is a top year for Bitcoin, knowing that new listings from now on will have a massive, massive upside potential, it makes way more sense to focus a lot of our energy, time, and effort and resources into finding the next potential Phantom, Solana, AVAX, you name it. Now, what about coins like that right now? Well, the reality is that a lot of these coins, they've done so-so, but because they've already had an incredible bull market rally because they were a new listing with no prior historical performance, my expectation for a lot of these isn't as good as you'd think. I mean, just going back up to the all-time high is 300%. Maybe it might go up to the 272. The 1618 is a far-fetched tale. I doubt that will happen. For Solana, because it's in like the top 5 market cap, I mean, it's almost going to break above its all-time high, maybe moving up here to $700, maybe, but up here, that's a stretch. So all these coins that have already seen an incredible initial rally because they were a new listing with no prior history, these ones now have had a lot of damage. A lot of these have fallen a ridiculous amount. While we see a rally of 4,000% for Avalanche, we also know that Avalanche lost 94% of its value. So if you happen to snag it at the very smack dab bottom back here in September 2023, yes, you're up 300% right now. Good for you. But we're not focusing on buying the bottom after the bear market rally because we've already hit our bear market year, our recovery year. Last year was a rally year. This year's a top year. So it doesn't make sense to look at coins that have already experienced a top year to go heavy into those, to allocate a lot of funds into those. If you want to, go for it. But in my personal experience, I've seen this happen many times over. We typically see new listings that have so much untapped price potential absolutely explode. And many of the coins that are in the top 10 now used to be new listings way back when and had massive, massive rallies. It's not here, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. We're going to look at Ethereum on Kraken's chart. Why Kraken? Because this goes back way back to where we saw Ethereum listed when it was basically nothing. Ethereum down here at 49 cents. Now, when we get into a top year, which right here, December, good grief, 2017, right here. This was a top year for Ethereum. Now, look at what the difference right here in the rally. So we saw Ethereum rally up 19,351% for this entire rally over a year, almost pulling a 200x. That's crazy. Now, did it have that same rally over that same period of a rallying year from 2021? Where's the first candle? There we go. Right here. Right there. There we go. To the top. How high did it go? 400%. And actually, January was right about here. 200%. So you can see why I'm not so excited about any of these coins, including Ethereum, for this top year that we're entering right now. Now, there might be some of you that really want to accumulate more Solana for trading on Solana. You might want to accumulate AVAX, Phantom, Rune, HBAR, all that stuff. Go for it. Good for you. But to me, It makes way more sense to allocate more of my time, resources, energy, profits, portfolio, hopefully that will turn into profits from all these new listings because there's untapped potential. Even after we saw this rally of 2,000%, we saw Ethereum continue to shoot up a massive, massive amount. Why? Because there was a narrative at play. There was a market, the market demanding it, and it was a top year. We saw so many coins go absolutely crazy from 2017 to 2018. So 4 years later, 2021, that year was a top year for Bitcoin. We saw alts do absolutely amazingly well like we just saw. So what coins am I looking at right now? It does change. And I'm not going deep into narratives. I don't even know what a lot of these coins do. I don't really care who the founders are. I don't really care what they do at all. The only thing I pay attention to at this point in the market is volume and demand. If there's volume, if there's enough buying that's happening, that will propel the price up. I don't care what tokenomics they have. I don't care what news releases, what forks, what partnerships they have. I don't care. The volume will tell me the story every single time. And as far as demand goes, I'm talking about public demand. When we see people going absolutely crazy, posting meme after meme after meme for these new listings because they're rocketing higher, they want other people to buy in because they probably bought in too late and too high, right? So I want to help you out to give you an advance notice on some of these coins, but a lot of these don't have the demand yet because it's still super duper early. It is. It's literally just the first week of January 2025. So with that said, there's still another 12 months ahead of us to see a lot of these coins pull at least, in my opinion, at least a 5x. Some of them, though, will be the next, Phantom or Solana or Avalanche shooting up 10,000%. I don't know which ones. I really don't. We have to pay attention to the narratives, okay? So without further ado, let's look at this list. Now, this is not the list. This list can change and most likely will change. So I have a very, very good reason for sharing a lot of these with you. I just forgot. No, I'll go back to it. I wanted to share something with you on the dot chart that's really important. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. Tell me, because I'm not going to hear you because you're screaming. Tell me while you're riding on public transit. That would be even better because you're not going to look crazy at all. Okay, first up is A8. Now, A8 is a coin that many people will probably shy away from. Why? Well, A8 had a listing high up here at 32 cents. It fell way down here to 6 cents, and then it proceeded to pump up 538%. It's now falling down, but the reality is that a new listing like this with no prior history, this is literally just getting started. The main good thing that's happening with this chart is that it's on Coinbase. And the fact is that the price is also very, very attractive. It's under $1. So you could buy a lot of A8, especially if you're a smaller retail trader looking for something interesting to get into. Now, I'm not necessarily advocating for you to buy any of these coins, but I'm just giving you an idea of what is possible with a lot of these. Now, you'll notice I have a measurement set here. The reality is that I shared 8.8 with the Better Traders Club way back in December saying, well, around here is a really good entry price at 9 cents. And boy, oh boy, was I right, because it shot up 465%. And it's still up 244%. But the reality is that it could go up here to 90 cents. It could go up to $1. It could actually go up a lot higher. I don't know what A8 has in store. But the two things that we need to watch are volume, and we also need to watch demand. On the daily time frame, volume has dropped off a lot because it's already crazy overbought. We're seeing a lot of crazy signals telling us reverse, 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 reverse. And we've seen volume die down a little bit, but it doesn't really faze me because we're going to see this happen over and over and over again. Here we go. Right here, Phantom. Let's go back to this rally because I want to show you what can happen. We will see coins shoot up 500%, 4,000%. That's crazy. 4,000% over a month. Over a stinking month. That's just nuts. And then it loses, how much from there? From here, it lost 70%, only to keep going. Only to keep going and ripping higher and harder. Even from here, it still yielded a 10x. So just because A8 is having a minor pullback doesn't deter me from a chart like this that's a new listing, because there's no prior price performance. And the reality is that we have a couple of targets. One, the 1.272 has been respected. So that means that this will most likely be respected just under 90 cents. But still, the price potential is there. But as long as volume continues to come in, I'm not worried. If there's demand, if there's a lot of good stuff happening for AA8 and people are talking about it a lot, cool beans, it's going to go up higher. Now, next up is Manta. The reason why this is here, again, is because it's a new listing. And I should say new-ish listing. The reason why I say new-ish is because it wasn't listed today. It was listed back here, January 2024. So it's actually been around for an entire year. Yet, this is still considered to be a new listing. Some of these that I shared were not listed exactly on January 1, 2021. Some of them were listed a couple of weeks prior to that. Some of them had been around for a lot longer. Here we go, August 2020. So this one had been around for several months. AVAX, I believe, had been around since September. Solana since August. Phantom, this one since June 2019. So just because Manta has been around already for a year does not discount it whatsoever to having an extreme pump and a price potential, mainly because it's a new listing. It had a listing pump. It has not fallen below that listing pump all the way down here at 5 cents. But don't be surprised in the bear market if it heads down this direction. Just saying, this is what happens. So when we have potential like this, when we see volume starting to exceed right here, this yellow moving average, that's an amazing sign. That's a good sign for a chart like Manta. On the daily time frame, it's already fallen down a ton from its listing high up here. It's still down 80%, which means it has a lot of upside potential. Seeing volume coming in, even though it's dying down at the end of the year, doesn't really faze me that much. And seeing that it could shoot up at least to $14 or so for a nice 11x, that's a pretty, actually, no, it would be more like what? 15x from where the current price is. So again, looking for price potential and also looking for reversal signals like these green triangles right here. These two are TBT divergence, which are pro tier indicators from the Better Traders Club. You only get access to them in the pro tier, but I'm sharing this with you here so you can see them in action. Calling the bottom, because take note, this called the bottom right here at 60 cents. This is crazy. So it's doing an amazing job so far. We'll even say from right there, it's still up. Now, Manta could still go a lot higher, and I expect it to. Why? Because it's a new listing. You're going to hear me say that over and over. Masa, for those of you that are watching my videos on the Coin Bureau Trading channel, I shared in a recent video how my Masa bot has accumulated a lot of profit. It's actually over 30% in profit, passive profit, since I turned it on in the first week of December. So it's been handling all of this volatility beautifully, like a champ. Notice what's happening with volume. Volume is actually looking really good. It's exceeding the 30-day moving average, that yellow line right there. We're seeing the price still not even close to getting to its listing high up here, just shy of 92 cents. So new listings with no prior price action before, well, rather experiencing a bull market, this could easily go up here to 230 or 220, or even up here to pull like a 50x. I would love for that to happen since I'm accumulating it. But again, the main things we want to pay attention to, is there increasing volume? Yes, there is. Is there increasing excitement on socials? Not really. A lot of these coins are still really quiet. But believe me when I say, when these coins start to get above their listing prices, you're going to see people talking about, oh yeah, you should check out Masa. I bought Masa. I bought Masa like a year ago. I bought it at the very peak of bottom. It's amazing. Like people are going to be talking about it all the time. It happens all the time. All right, Puffer Finance. This one, I believe, is on other exchanges as well. Let me see. Puffer is on Bybit, BitGet, Poloniex, Huobi, Bybit. I said that OKX, but that's, yeah. CoinEx, Gate.io. Okay. So having it be on some reputable exchanges is good. The exchanges that we want to see it listed on would be preferably Coinbase or Binance, in my opinion. Bybit is still a really good shot, mainly because a lot of these are going to have derivatives. And I talked about this before. The reason why derivatives are so important is because people will short bullish charts like Puffer Finance. People will see this and they're going to go up. Well, it's up here at its top. It fell down here before after it hit 96 cents and it fell down 43%. So I'm going to go ahead and short this here. Whereas if those bears that are shorting the market aren't looking at volume. They're not looking on balance volume. They're not looking at trend-based indicators that are showing a decent trend intact, and it's a top year. The reality is that puffer finance could and should continue to move up a lot higher. 200%, no, that's too low. I mean, you got to look for like at least a 5x for a lot of these coins. But a lot of these that are on derivatives exchanges, there's going to be short squeeze liquidations to the upside, pushing the price higher and higher and higher and higher. You're going to see it happen over and over and over again. Saros on Bybit, I believe this one is, let's see, it's not listed on any other bigger exchanges. BitGet, Huobi, KuCoin, Gate, Mex. But the fact is that I believe Saros is, this will be a good example. No, it's only the spot market. That's amazing. Well, volume is crazy up for this one. This one, again, was shared in the Better Traders Club. So this one is up, went up as high as 930%, which is massive. Of course, it's come down a little bit, but still going just up to the listing spike at 5 cents from where we shared it. Where I shared it is a 15x, but going up higher than, like, we should expect a lot of these to go a lot higher as things start to heat up this year. SmartX, this is one you've heard me talk about quite a lot. Unfortunately, this one has already pumped a decent amount. SmartX has already popped a lot, but you can see here on BitGet, there was an incredible pump that happened. This one single day, some poor soul bought $1 million worth of SmartX and ate up the entire order book, 1.3 million, all the way up to 0.025 cents. So one thing that's interesting about this is that SmartX is still new, even though it's been around since 2023 in August. I still think a chart like this has a lot of potential. But what's interesting is that when we get pumps like this essentially is now a predictive wick. We're going to see SmartX continue to rally up. It will start to experience some turbulence at about 0.023 cents or so, according to the TBO resistance line there. But this is proven to the market that SmartX can and likely will go up to 0.025 cents. Now, from the current price, it's only 55%. So again, we're looking at like a 5x at least for a lot of these coins. So that puts it up at least to like 10 cents, which is what I'm looking at as well for SmartX. Shadow, which is on Coinbase. So this one is, oh, sorry, I forgot to say that SmartX is not listed on bigger exchanges yet. So it's smaller compared to a lot of these. But Shadow token on Coinbase, again, the exchange matters a lot. We've seen this one, again, TBT bullish divergence right there. So from that weekly, it shot up almost 300%. It's given back some of its profits, but still things are bullishly building for this chart. It's a new listing. There's no prior price performance. There's no prior bull market action for a chart like this. Therefore, we could see a chart like Shadow on a bigger exchange at a good price under $1, go up to its listing price, which is only 200%, hit our 272, even hitting our 1.618. That's a 12x. And then, of course, we could look at using our Bitcoin to buy charts, but this gets increasingly risky if Bitcoin starts to pump. There will be days where charts like IOBTC on Binance are doing well because Bitcoin's not. But there is a risk to trading against Bitcoin or rather buying the BTC equivalent of a coin. So IOBTC. While you can stack sats, the reality is that IOUSDT is a safer bet because this one is not going to be as exposed to Bitcoin's drawdown and pumps and things like that. So if we were to draw a fib retracement on this guy, top to the drop, looking at where it is right now, going up back up to the listing high is 90%. So we're looking for at least a 5x. So going up to the 618, that's an easy 4x. Easy 4x, okay? Is volume increasing? It's dying down just a little bit, but things are literally just getting started in 2025. Now, I want to go back for all of you that are awesome. You're staying to the very end. You remembered, and I haven't forgotten because you've been yelling at me. Don't forget DOT. What were you going to say about DOT? It's so important. What were we going to say? That was so important. Please, please, please. Okay. The important thing to keep in mind as we go forth in this bull market, when we see charts absolutely start to explode, we will see some go up hundreds of percent, some in a matter of a week, only to give it all back and literally go all the way back down. They might have another pump like this. I don't expect some sort of price action like this. I think it's going to be more of a blow off top this time around for Bitcoin and everything else. But understand me when I say, if you've earned over 100% on your position and you haven't taken any profit yet, just consider shaving off a little bit of profit. Now, it's hard to do that, especially with a new listing, because you have no idea of where it could stop, where it could find resistance. Oh, wait, yes, you can. You can use Fibonacci extension levels. This Fibonacci extension at 1.272 literally predicted where there could be a pullback for Ancient 8. And boy, oh boy, was it right. So if you got into something like this and you're up 450% and you didn't take any profit yet and you're giving it all back, well, that stinks. But if you see these Fib extension levels, just consider selling just below that. Now, if you're a trend trader using the TBO and you want to stay in the trend as long as possible, other things to consider looking out for would be when you see the price start to stall, or worse yet, right here. When you see the price go inside of the daily TBO cloud, okay? When you see this happen, this is a sign of chop. This is a sign of consolidation, bearish consolidation, okay? Especially when we see right there, that blue dot right there, that's a TBO close long. That's letting us know that if you haven't taken profit yet from the TBO open long, which from the close of that candle up until here is still up 157%, sorry, 149%. If you haven't taken profit yet, slap yourself. Take some profit, especially if the price goes back up to the TBO fast line, which is the next thing that will happen. I talk about this so much in the Better Traders Club. It's like I could just point to the post, point to the post, point to the post. But a lot of people miss out because they think, well, it's just going to go higher. It's just going to go higher. And then when the price reverses and it falls, this is where people panic. So you can set alerts for yourself so that when the price crosses the TBO fast line once per bar right there, then it's going to let you know right away. You could even integrate this with AllTrading to set up an alert on an open position. So once the price of A8 crosses the TBO fast line, boom, send a sell signal right away. So you don't know how long the position is going to be in profit for. But if you see a bullish uptrend like this right here, you just want to stay in the trend as long as possible. And then you get closed out. Boom. I mean, from here to here, that's an amazing trade of 188% over 29 days. Yes, if you don't want to take full profits, that's fine. You can just sell partial positions. And I would recommend doing that. But consider taking profits. Why? Because you do not want to give away all of your profits, especially when we have a severe pullback, because Bitcoin will be making pullbacks that will be extremely painful. Will you enter into some magical coin that shoots up 400%, maybe even in a day? Yes, but you don't want to be left not taking profits only to give everything back. You do not want to be there. You don't want to round trip your positions. You want to take profit on the way up. And one of the best ways to do this is using Fibonacci extensions. Even if the price goes well beyond where you think it's going to go, you know what? You can always add in again with the TBO using the TBO springboard. You can also just take partial profits on the way up. And that's the last thing I want to share with you for all of you awesome people that have stuck around to the very end. There's no reason that you want to sell everything on the first 100%. Consider taking just some profits. Take a little bit of profit as the price moves up higher, because literally the sky's the limit with a lot of these new listings that have no experience of a bull market. They could pump so much higher. So take partial profits on the way up at predetermined price points. I've talked about this a lot. I'm going to talk about it a lot this year. And I'm also going to let you know when I'm going to start scaling out of a lot of my positions as well, because I'm looking to scale out of Bitcoin, of everything else that I'm holding gradually throughout the year, because I want to walk away stress-free and in profit from this market, because what's after the top market is the bottom market. And I'm not going to be left with my pants down going, oh no, whoopsie doopsie. Okay, and for all of you that are still not sure how high Bitcoin could go, watch this video. Bitcoin will hit an all-time high on this date. Both of these are linked in the description below, but both of these videos will help you out immensely. I'm also going to link them at the end of this video. And lastly, if you're like, okay, I love these picks. Okay, you do have a bit of an eye for picking them. How do you get charts like this? Well, in the Better Traders Club, which is available through the Better Traders, the link's in the description. You can join our private Discord server. I put out monthly watch lists, but it's way more than just watch lists. There are tons of signals, tons of alerts, tons of volatility alerts. There are, the community itself is amazing. There's lots of tools, indicators, video resources, private training, like all this stuff. It's massive, 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 massive. So join the Better Traders Club. That would be the next best thing. But seriously, take some time, look at some new listings, pay attention to the exchange, pay attention to the volume, pay attention to the demand, because the charts that you identify now and you start buying into and accumulating could literally yield anywhere between a 5x to a 50x this market top. So I want to know what you think about this idea of using new listings as your ticket to ride out of this bull market in a Porsche. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.